Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Basant Kumar. I am Joint Director with the Foundry Informatics Centre of the Institute of Indian Foundrymen. With great pleasure, I welcome you all on behalf of IIF to today's webinar on the topic GreenCo Rating Systems. Special welcome to Shri Sabyasachi Sen Gupta ji, keynote speaker for our today's webinar, and other officials from CII. I acknowledge presence of our immediate past president, Mr. D.S. Chandrasekhar ji. Welcome, sir, and Dr. Abhishekta Roy Chaudhary, Executive Director of IIF. We all know how critical is the topic of the webinar today, and I'm sure it will help the participating organizations transition to green manufacturing. So, to start with, I would request our immediate past president, Mr. D.S. Chandrasekhar, for his address, please. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Basant. Once again, welcome you all for the today's very important webinar. I am addressing as a chairman of the Center of Excellences, and in one of our discussions of the Center of Excellences, this topic was discussed, and we thought the members may require further input to take this initiation forward. So, on that context, we thought we discussed with Basant to organize a webinar with the CIA representatives. And we are glad to have Mr. Sen Gupta and his colleagues who will be participating and enriching us on GreenCo initiations. If you ask foundries, mainly we will only work when there are compliances or a push from the customers. And always we consider these type of activities as an expenditure. But what I feel on the experienced is these are all investment for the future. And going forward, I think these type of initiations will be a USP for all of us, especially the foundries, to have multinational companies and exports. And in fact, earlier customers used to ask, "Are you ISO certified?" Then further added energy management, ENMS, then OSHAs. Now all these like CBAM and GreenCo, all these things are already at our doorsteps. And unless we embrace all these things, we may not be able to compete in the market. In that context, we had as office bearers, I think we had one interaction with CI, including Hussein Gupta other day, and we wanted to share that knowledge and his whatever is inputs to all the members, and then take it to our members who are all interested in embrace this activity along with the collaboration of CI. And I'm sure next, I think, what is the 45 minutes, Vasan?
Yes, sir.
Presentation?
Yeah.
Presentation?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. 45 minutes, we'll be having a detailed presentation, Mr. Sen Gupta and his team. And once again, let us hear from them, and then later we interact and get it clarified. And let us soon think of embracing this GreenCo in our organizations so that how to research tomorrow is, I think, conservation, natural resource conservations, and we should also be a preferred supplier for the multinational. With these few words, I'll hand back to Mr. Basant to take the proceedings further.
Thank you, sir. In the meantime, we have the privileged presence of IAF National Honorary Secretary, Mr. Pradeep Madhavadiya ji. Thank you, sir. Thank you for joining. And before we start, let me introduce our key speaker today, Mr. Sabyasachi Sen Gupta, who is an environmental sustainability professional, having work experience spanning more than 20 years. From 2008 onwards, he has been working in Confederation of Indian Industries, CII Hyderabad. He is one of the key members of the movement called Mission on Sustainable Growth, MSG, initiative of CII, and involved in conceptualizing, development and promotion of new concept of sustainability in India, GreenCo Rating System. He has conducted more than 100 number of environmental audits and more than 50 training programs on various topics related to environment sustainability and waste management. He is part of the CII Godrej GBC's project team and executed several national and international projects on waste management, cleaner production concept, etc. Thank you, Shri Sen Gupta ji, for joining us today as keynote speaker. I would now hand over to you for your presentation. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Basanji. Thank you, Chandrasekhar sir. Thank you, Abhishekta ma'am. So, good afternoon to everyone. So, it is my pleasure and privilege to be here to present today for this webinar. So, first of all, I would like to extend my congratulations and the appreciation to the IIF for giving us the opportunity. Of course, we have been working with IIF quite a long time. Not only now, I think previously there are many occasions CI has been working with IIF, especially for the energy efficiency point of view. Like CI, our energy management cell is very old, 1994 onwards, they have been working in Chennai. And many of our senior office colleagues have been extensively worked with the IIF. So we want to further strengthen our relationship to sustainability journey. And recent past, we have a discussion with Dr. Abhishekta. Last year onwards, we started discussion how we can collaborate further to make the Foundry Association and the members more greener. And for that aspect, we already have several discussions. I think last year, GreenCo Summit, some senior office bearer came to our Chennai Summit in GreenCo. And last month, January, my senior colleague Muthu also made a brief presentation of the senior executive. So today, the main objective is we will discuss something more detailed about the GreenCo rating so that you can able to have a better idea about what is GreenCo, what is the benefits, and how, if you want to pursue the GreenCo, what are the key aspects you have to follow, and finally then how we should take it forward. That is the basic objective of the GreenCo. So my presentation is around 40 to 45 minutes. Suppose that we can have some more discussions to have any kind of doubts or clarifications. Okay. So before I go to my actual presentation, just to have a quick background about my center. So this is called CI Sorabji Godrej Green Business Center, which is based in Hyderabad. Okay. So this center is unique because it was the first platinum rated green building in the world. Okay. So this building was is inaugurated in 2003-2004 by Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, and it was got LEED. I think you must have heard about the LEED, that is the Leadership in Energy and Environment, by US Green Building Council. So during that period, this building has got the highest score by the LEED guideline. And based upon that, it was considered as one of the topmost green building in the world outside of the US. Even now also, if you search in Google, you can get the idea like top 15 green building in the country. So you can definitely get US, our CIGBC as one of the greenest building. So we always say in a lighter note, like Hyderabad is not only famous for biryani or the pearl, it is also famous for the green building because the maximum number of the green building in the country is there in Hyderabad, apart from our own center. Okay, so whenever you're coming to Hyderabad, next time I invite to all of you, please pay a visit to our center. We'll be very happy to host to all of you, sir. Okay, and from this center, we basically drive the entire sustainability movement across the country. So these are the, and just to another more important point, in 2020, we also have achieved the net zero energy platinum building. You can see all the rooftop solar photovoltaics. We have more than 130 kWp rooftop solar photovoltaic cells are there. So with that, we have been able to generate more energy than the actual requirement on an annual basis. Okay, so that is how our building is there. And there are various other unique features are there. Like we have more than 60% land is the undisturbed. We maintain the greeneries. We have more than 10,000 different plant species is there. It is 100% daylight oriented building. We have natural flora, fauna, habitation, rainwater harvesting. So there are various unique features are there. Okay. And from this center, broadly, these are the areas we currently work. The first and foremost is the green building certification. Of course, IGBC, you maybe heard about that. So Indian Green Building Council, so they house in CI. And from this center, we drive the entire green building movement across the country. And currently, we have more than 13 billion square feet footprinting green build in the country, which is second highest after the US. Okay, that is the key achievement. And next most important is the GreenCo rating, which I personally work with these areas. So we have working more than 1,500 companies, and by implementing GreenCo, there are several benefits which we'll discuss in detail in subsequent slide. Then we also have a product called the Green Product Certification. Okay, so this is again a very unique thing. Like finally, it was started like what are the materials going into the building construction specifically for a green building construction, like cement, steel, mortar, concrete, paints, glass, etc. So unless these products are not green, a building cannot be have a green building. So of late we started a green product certification. So it was started initially mainly for the green building product, but nowadays we are also certifying the non-building product. For example, castings or the forging or different other tie rods. Okay, there are. I will have the example how Breaks India or the Madras Industries Limited or Random Andress Brakes Lining. They also have the green products. Okay, certified by CI. So that is another services we offer. The fourth one is the energy efficiency service. This is the, I can say, more than 2 decades old service. We have around 3 decades actually. So we have the largest energy auditor in our center. More than 50 plus BE certified energy auditors are there. And we provide the energy conservation services not only in the country, across the world. Different other country also we have been providing energy audit, including US, Japan, other countries also, China. Okay, and finally, we also have a service called the Green Entrepreneurship Development. So we also support and incubate the green service provider who are having the good knowledge about sustainability, but they need the funds or the support in the market. So you also have a system how they can grow a 5x kind of revenue within next 3 years period. So that kind of support also we provide. So all our sustainability together, we approximately more than 55 million tons of CO2 reduction is possible. That is what our contribution to the country. That is what we have been doing at so far. Okay. So now coming to the green concept of the GreenCo rating, I just want to have a quick background about why sustainability is so much important in current business domain. Okay. This is a very elaborative graph. I'll just make it very simple. So this left-hand side curve, this basically show how the increase into the global temperature is happening due to the greenhouse gas emissions. I think all of you know what is called the greenhouse gas. There are 6 greenhouse gases are there, which is basically the culprit or the reason for the climate change. That's why this extreme heat or extreme cold or the change in the climate is happening. Okay. So it is estimated already we have crossed 50 billion tons of CO2 emission on annual basis in 2022 during that time. So if the same situation is going to continue by 2100, the overall carbon emission will cross more than 150 to 200 billion tons. Okay, that is the projection. Okay, and that also will lead in increase in earth temperature more than 4.1 degree to 4.8 degrees centigrade. Okay, so this will create a lot of catastrophic impact. Okay, so you can see this right hand side, one small table is there. If a 0.5 degree change in the earth temperature, what kind of environmental impact can be happen, like 1.5 degree and 2 degree scenario? It can completely destroy the glaciers. So many people will lose their life. The ecological disturbances happen, extreme heat condition, extreme severe drought condition. There are all, you can say, the extreme vulnerability due to the increase in the earth temperature. That is again happening. The root cause is the carbon dioxide emission. And we know what are the sources of the carbon dioxide emission, mainly for the fossil fuel burning for our vehicle or the industrial operation or the thermal power plant. Okay. So ultimately, the root cause is how to stop the carbon emission generation. Okay, that is the primary objective. So with that aspect, there are so many discussions happening globally. You must have heard about the COP, Conference of Parties, etc., where India also have a commitment how to reduce the carbon dioxide emission. So there was finally, it was decided that if we want to restrict the temperature rise within 1.5 degree scenario, then only it is possible we can combat the climate change. Okay. So if that is to be happen, so it was, it is more like a back calculation. So all the scientists have calculated and they found that the earth need to achieve net zero condition by mid of the century. Okay, mid of the century means 2050. Okay, so in that time, if earth can able to achieve the net zero means there should not be any emission happen to the atmosphere. Okay, no carbon dioxide or no GHG emission should happen to the atmosphere. If any emission happen, that has to be taken out. That has to be physically taken out. Okay, any kind of anthropogenic emissions. Okay, because natural CO2 emission, nature have its own cycle to manage through its forestation, etc. but the major culprit are the human beings. So because we are the responsible for all kind of GHG emissions. So what are the GHG emission is going to happen? It has to be taken care from the environment. Okay. So if that is the case, so by 2050, the earth has to be net zero. And by 2030, at least 45% GHG reduction should happen. Okay. So that is the, you can say, the back calculation to protect our earth. Okay. But current scenario, if you see all the newspaper, etc., we are nowhere in the track. Okay. We are already crossed 2.1 to 2.2 degree scenario. Okay. So that is again, it's nothing, it's not going to help anywhere to us. Okay. We have to bring back the curve to the 1.5 degree scenario so that this graph should close to the zero by mid of the century. Somewhere it should come to zero. Okay, so that is where the entire world is now looking for it, how to be reduce the earth temperature, because whatever damage happened past, we cannot reverse that. But whatever is going to in future, that is the only thing we can able to control that. Okay, that is one aspect. Second aspect, I think you are into the steel sector or the metal sector. You must be know about the CBAM. Chandrasekhar sir also mentioned about the CBAM. It is a carbon border adjustment mechanism. So European Union is already having a very strict directives. Okay, you must have heard about the Green EU. Okay, so they have a Green EU climate pledge, etc. There are many things are there. Okay, so what they have already decided ki by 2026 January onwards, they will start putting some kind of a charge or some kind of a tariff to the product which is imported from other country to the EU. Okay, because they want to avoid the carbon leakage. Because it's possible that many of our, of course, including India, we export so many products to the European market, including steel, okay, then iron. You can see these sectors. We have identified all these 6 major sectors as of now, 2026. By 2030, they may include almost many other sectors. So cement, iron and steel, aluminium, fertilizer, electricity, hydrogen. These are all 5, 6 major energy intensive sector, hard to abate sector, difficult sector, whatever you call it about. Okay. So these are all the sectors, the highly energy intensive, carbon intensive. Okay. So they have putting some kind of they are going to put some kind of a tax if you are importing to the European market. First of all, you should have a proper inventory. So this is the current. Now we are calling it it is a transitional phase. Okay. So October 2023 till December 2025. This time frame they have given to all countries that you should start capturing your carbon calculation. You know how much is the carbon is going to happen, and you can also take the preventive measure to reduce the carbon emission at there itself. Okay, so that by the time it is going to export, you know how much is the residual carbon is there. So accordingly, either if you pay tax in your country, that is fine, they will accept it. Otherwise, if you don't pay the carbon tax in your country, then they will charge you at the highest rate what is there at the prevailing on the particular countries, okay, other countries, okay, or the European countries, okay. So of course, India already started our CCTS scheme, etc. But this is what the Europe is also planning to charge. Now UK is also coming to their own CBAM guideline, okay. So this is another aspect how, because of course we are all looking for the export-oriented market. Export is the major revenue for all of us, okay. So there, these are all some kind of a trade challenges. I should not say use the word barrier. These are all kind of trade challenges because every country want to achieve the net zero, because you already have a commitment to achieve net zero by 2050. Okay, so on that aspect, they want to make sure that no product should come to their country which is having the higher carbon impact. That is another area why people are looking a lot of measures to reduce the carbon emissions. Okay. Then again, this backdrop, I think all of you must heard about India's commitment in the 2021 the Glasgow Conference of Parties or COP. Okay, where our honorable Prime Minister already committed that India will definitely want to be part of this sustainability journey. And on that aspect, this lifestyle for environment, which honorable PM has announced, this is the one way of looking how to make our life more sustainable, okay, and resource efficient. Okay. That is what the objective. There is a lot of guideline also available. Then we also have a target to reduce carbon dioxide, GHG emission intensity, increase the renewable energy share, okay, then foresting, etc. And finally, to achieve net zero by 2070. That is the commitment has been taken by the government of India, considering our growth aspect, because India is a developing country. We cannot just like that put a restriction to our country, because we have to grow much faster if you want to be keep in pace with the other countries. Okay, so at the same time, we should not also compromise with the you can say environmental factors. Okay, so this is what the India's commitment to achieve net zero by 2070. But globally, if you talk about, everyone talking about 2050, because that is where the you can see international bodies have already put the restrictions. Okay, so against this background, so now this is all the scenario, sir. It's all happening across the world. One way the climate is changing, our temperature is increasing, carbon dioxide is increasing. Second thing is other way, government is putting tax, government is putting restriction, export also getting a challenges because the other countries putting restriction. So what we should do, how we should make our business more profitable, grow our business, grow our revenue without compromising the environment, without compromising any kind of other issues. Okay. So in this background, what we understand at what CI, of course, we have been emphasizing this thing almost last 15, 20 years before. So green is the only one mega opportunity which can make your business a good sense. Okay. So pursuing green can make it's a real business sense for you. What does it mean? It means that you should definitely do the business because we have to do the business, but business should not happen at the cost of environmental damage. Okay. So we should improve the efficiency in the operation. At the same time, we should reduce the resource intensity. Okay. So it means that suppose today part ton of melting the metals, because I'm talking about your business only. So part of melting metal, how much of gigajoules of the kilocalorie energy I'm consuming, tomorrow to melt the same amount of metal, I should reduce the part ton of energy consumption. Specific energy consumption should reduce. Or with the same energy, I should melt more amount of material. If I reduce less amount of energy, automatically my carbon emission should come down, my water consumption should come down, my waste generation should come down. So on the other side, if you see this graph, sir, so it is showing that the economic activity and the environmental impact should be inversely proportional. So it cannot be directly proportional, okay? Because I should definitely grow, my turnover should grow, my GDP should grow, but that growth should not happen at the cost of environment. The environmental impact should be inversely proportional to the growth. So that is possible only when if I take or if I make green as a business opportunity, if I pursue green as a business angle. Okay. So in this background, CI already has been discussion with different industry leaders. I am talking about 2010-11. So that time we found that there was no single holistic tool was available to really understand how much of greenness is there in the factory or business operation. Okay, because of course, like Chandrasekhar sir has mentioned, ISO 14001, 9001 quality or OSHA for the safety, but these are all basically the management standards. This will set you the platform or pedestal to develop a system in your company, to have a proper policies, procedure, guideline, training, capacity building, target setting. These are all management standards, which is definitely required. But this does not tell you how to make your operation more efficient, okay, or how to improve your efficiency in the operation, okay. That is one aspect. So there was no single tool was available which can really define a company as a green company, okay. That was the one concern. Second concern is, suppose tomorrow, say for example, X foundry want to claim that I am a green foundry, okay. But greenness is a holistic. Green cannot be confined only within my boundary, some 4 acre, 5 acre, or 10 acres land. Okay. So green should encompass starting from your raw material, like from where I'm sourcing the raw material, then my transportation, then of course my manufacturing, then my product, how much product is generating going to the customer side, usage space and disposal. Okay. So unless I consider all stakeholder into this gamut, I cannot really call myself as a green company. Correct. Because maybe my major environmental impact lying during the you can say mining phase, or maybe what are the product I'm manufacturing. Suppose again I'm talking about a product, say for example a tire. Okay, tire is one of the most used product. Okay, so if I do a study about the tire life cycle study, I will find that 85% of the impact of the tire is lying into the usage phase, because tire is there for 15-20 years period. So amount of kilometer, lakhs kilometer it is running, based upon that, the impact is becoming higher. It is not about the manufacturing stage. Okay. So unless I consider this usage of the tire also in my environmental consideration, I may not be able to know where my actual impact is. Okay. So it is required that while I'm talking about the green company or the evaluate a company on the green aspect, I should consider everything in totality. Okay. Then only I can able to decide how much of the greenness is there. But unfortunately, that time, 2010-11, there was no single tool available to really evaluate a company how much greenness is there. So again, this background, CI has developed this GreenCo rating system. It was one of the first of its kind in the world initiative that time. Even now also, it is believed to be one of the first of its kind initiative because when we developed this program, we have formed a steering committee more than 400 plus member, which is having Indian member, then international other stakeholder also was there. And everyone has shared their views and they all accepted of course, there are multiple different rating program available across the world, but every rating or every guideline having its own limitation. But no rating was so much of, you can say, holistic or comprehensive, which can consider all aspect more like a cradle to cradle approach or life cycle approach, which GreenCo is having. Okay. So this is how the GreenCo has been formed, and GreenCo also go periodical revisions every year basis because it's almost 12 to 13 years old GreenCo rating. But even though it is one of the most unique and most of the, you can say, one of the best of its kind program what currently CI has been offering. Okay. So again, I am talking about, again, when I talk about the green company, suppose tomorrow I am going to facilitate the company as a green company, what are the aspects I should check at the green company? Okay. So first and foremost, energy is one of the prime drivers. You all know that irrespective of the size of the operation of the industry, energy has to be the prime driver. Okay. So if a company want to be a most green company, the company has to be one of the best in the energy efficiency. Okay. So our objective is how the company is driving their energy efficiency performance to achieve the world-class level. Of course, it is a journey. It cannot happen over the period of time. But in the GreenCo, we want to understand, we want to ensure that the company develop a system starting from the target setting, then having some kind of a budget allocation, then identifying the project, implementing the project, their internal benchmarking exercise, then focusing about the renewable energy, because renewable energy is the future. If you don't consider, it is difficult. Of course, there are sectoral challenges are there, but definitely the company should have a focus about the renewable energy. Okay. And ultimately benchmarking within themselves or the external benchmarking. Okay. So ultimately, how the company is looking for to achieve the world-class status, that is the primary focus if in the green company. That is one of the primary areas. Okay. So if I talk about the energy, immediately the link with the carbon, because energy means carbon. Okay. So carbon emissions. So the second thing is once a company is want to achieve a green company, the primary objective is first of all whether the company is doing its own carbon emission calculation, like scope 1, scope 2 emission calculation, and also its value chain, the scope 3 emission calculation. So these things also getting considered on the GreenCo rating. And finally, whether the company is aspiring to be a carbon neutral or the carbon positive kind of status, like the amount of carbon what it is emitting, whether the equal amount of carbon it is offsetting or removing from the atmosphere. So that kind of aspect also being considered under the GreenCo rating system. So plus we are also evaluating whether the company having a you can say a climate risk assessment study. Because nowadays every organization, every corporate want to understand next 15, 20, 30 years period, what will be the situation in my facility where I'm operating? How much is the water bodies will be there? How much of the energy availability will be there? Coal availability will be there? Then any kind of natural calamity would happen or not. So these are all climatic assessment studies. So nowadays every corporates are doing for next 20, 30, 40 years period. So then only they can able to know whether their business is sustainable or not and what kind of action they should take. So these are also considered as part of the GreenCo evaluation. Okay. So after energy and carbon, the next most important is the water, because without water, hardly any industry can operate. Okay. And here also we look for both domestic water and the process water consumption. So how much companies having target for the reduce the fresh water consumption, then having effort toward the recycling and the reuse, then harvesting the rainwater, and finally want to achieve a water neutral or the water positive status, sir. Because ultimately the water is shared resource, because we get the water either from the natural source or maybe the river or the groundwater or like that. Okay, but the same is also considered for a like society also. So ultimately, company should not be seen as a competing society for the water. So every company should have a focused approach how they can able to achieve the water neutral or the water positive status. So this is another interesting focus area for the GreenCo. Then waste and material is the next very key areas, because in GreenCo we never consider anything as a waste. Is everything is a resource actually. So ultimately what is coming as a waste is basically the resource for our industry, and the Foundry we know that There is nothing called as a waste actually. It's everything is a resource. So how the company is looking to minimize the waste generation, then including the yield improvement, and finally avoiding to the zero to landfill kind of status, that also been focusing here. Then another aspect is about the supply chain, because as I mentioned, GreenCo is not only within your operation, it is also talking about the beyond the fence activity. So unless I drive my vendors and suppliers also to start following the green practices, I cannot be considered as a really green company. So in GreenCo, you're also exploring what are the effort has been taken by the company to drive sustainable supply chain activities, okay, and how they are motivating the vendors and supplier, then procurement guidelines, their purchase policies, okay, and what kind of program they are doing along with the vendors and supplier, that also been considered. Then the next is the product development and the product stewardship. So finally, what are the product I'm manufacturing? So I have to ensure that the product is having very minimal impact to the environment. Okay. So for that, whether the company has been done a life cycle assessment study and to identify the hotspot, these are also the focus area about the GreenCo rating. So finally, when the company is really a green company, so our ultimate objective is how the company is a carbon neutral facilities, water positive, and the zero to landfill. This is actually the true green company what we emphasize for. Okay, so in the GreenCo rating, we basically focus upon all these areas. So this is the larger framework about the GreenCo rating at present, sir. It's a version 4 guideline 2023. So here, actually, we are basically looking about all the aspects about the GreenCo rating, as I discussed now, starting from the management system, then energy management, the carbon management, water management, material resource, supply chain, product development, innovation, and the green belt environment. Okay, total 1,000 points are there. And this GreenCo rating is also having 5 level of certification, starting from the certified level, that is 350 to 449 points. It is the basic level. Then based upon the scoring and their maturity, the rating get improved. So if the company completes more than 650 and above, it is considered as a gold rated company. And if it is more than 750, it is considered as a platinum rated companies. Okay. But only one important point what we always communicate to the companies. So GreenCo getting a rating or certification is an incidental. Okay, so if you join for the GreenCo journey, definitely get the rating. But our ultimate objective is by implementing the GreenCo, what kind of value we are able to add to the system, and what kind of changes you can able to brought to the system. That is the main objective under the GreenCo rating. So that is where in the entire process, we always look for the value addition, opportunities, identify the opportunities for improvement, and make the system more better. Okay. And subsequently, once GreenCo was developed for the large companies, similarly, we also simplified the GreenCo guideline for the MSME companies, because MSME companies will not have that much of robust system and the requirement. So it is fine-tuned, it is simplified, and it is called as a GreenCo Light guideline for the small, medium companies, and also those companies who have just started the sustainability journey. They may not have that much of a robust system, but they also want to participate for the sustainability journey. So for that, we have kept the key aspects, and this has been fine-tuned. It is called the GreenCo Light. It is as good as the major GreenCo guideline, actually. Okay. And what we have seen under the GreenCo rating, so why the companies have been pursuing the GreenCo? So by implementing the GreenCo, there are multiple benefits what they're getting. So first and foremost, this GreenCo entire framework, whatever I mentioned, like energy, water, material, carbon, etc. Since all these parameters, it makes a very excellent environmental monitoring tool for them to measure their all parameters. Okay. The second thing is GreenCo, while the company driving at the corporate level, suppose a company have multiple manufacturing facilities. So GreenCo parameter has become one of their internal benchmarking tool. Tata Motor is one of the very excellent example. Tata Motor has taken GreenCo as internal benchmarking tool. With that, they measure the parameter or their performance across all different manufacturing location. Okay. And with that, the GreenCo also help them to suppose a corporate level, like as I given the example IOC or the HPCL. So they have a corporate level target to achieve the net zero by 2046 or the 40 or the 43. Okay, that is the chairman level vision. So from there, they drive the sustainability journey across the different location, and to meet the sustainability, the you can say top management commitment. We found that GreenCo is one of the very good tool which can help them to meet their commitments. Okay. And it's also make the multiplier effect across the organization. So once one unit got the GreenCo rating, So similarly, by seeing that 10 more other locations also want to go for that, and a similar kind of best practices also being adopted by the other locations. Okay. And this is the approach for the large corporate. So once the corporate or the large OEM started following the GreenCo, similarly, they also push their supply chain partners also to start following the similar kind of practices, which further improve their monitoring system, make more and more employee involvement, have a better commitment of the top management, and finally also changing the overall organization's culture. That is the overall approach why the many companies are pursuing the GreenCo. Second most important thing, sir, like as I given the version 4, I think most of you heard about the BRSR reporting, which is SEBI has been already started pushing since last 4 to 5 years period, and it has become must for top 1,000 companies, listed companies, okay, and also 150 to 50 companies they have given for the validation also, third-party validation. So the GreenCo rating and the BRSR guidelines are basically the complement each other, okay. So in the BRSR, which is the Indian ESG guideline, so what are the environmental aspects the BRSR is talking about? The GreenCo requirements are actually much more than the BRSR requirement what the is talking about. Okay. So BRS is basically the reporting structure, while GreenCo is talking about the actual implementation. Okay. So what are the leadership indicators are there in the BRSR, which is basically for the futuristic. GreenCo is actually looking for the today's scenario. So if a company follow the GreenCo in a very systematic way, their overall BRSR score will definitely improve. That is what we have observed for last couple of years. Okay, that is what our feedback also from the corporates. Okay, so currently we have been working for more than 1,500 plus companies. You can see all different sectors like engineering, automobile, chemical, pharma, textile, railways, oil. Okay, and more than 1,000 company already has been achieved the GreenCo rating. And if I talk about the only for the foundry sector, this is how the major foundries who have been working. So Breaks India was the first foundry who has got the GreenCo rating. There's a GreenCo Platinum rated. LMW in Coimbatore, then Matters Engineering Limited. Even Matters Engineering is getting the GreenCo Gold. Okay, their Perambudur plant, so they are coming to receive the GreenCo award in next week in our summit. Then Gatke Patil, Kolhapur, there are multiple, some 3 units have got for the GreenCo rating. These are all core foundry sector. Apart from the Tata Motors, there were Marvel Foundries, then Kirloskar Brothers, they are foundry divisions, or the BHEL. We are working almost out of 16, 14 BHEL who have been working for the GreenCo. So their CPRF in the Haridwar also has already recently gone for the GreenCo rating. So these are all the corporate level, or you can say the large corporate, but their founder division is also going for the GreenCo certification. And as I mentioned, the benefits are enormous. This slide is going to get further updates because we are now coming with the new our annual report. So more than 5,000 crores annual recurring savings have been achieved by the GreenCo companies, and more than around 5.5 million tons of CO2 reduction have been achieved by implementing several projects, sir, like in terms of energy efficiency, water conservation, renewable energy projects, carbon mitigation, material conservation. So by implementing all these projects, these numbers are also quite conservative. The actual benefit will be much more than, because we have a system to capturing the recurring benefits from the companies by annual sustenance review. With that, we found that this around 5,000 crores savings is possible by GreenCo. This also given only by 600 companies, and the payback is also quite attractive. It is hardly a 12 to 14 months period. The company shown that what are the projects they have taken for the GreenCo, they're able to recover that money. Okay, that is where the driver is actually. Okay. And GreenCo has already got multiple recognitions, sir. Starting from the international level, like UNIDO level. Then Government of India also has recognized the GreenCo under their INDC document. Then, as I mentioned, we have a running MOU with the Indian Railways. Also, we have been working with them. And in the state level, also different multiple state pollution control board already recognized the GreenCo. Rajasthan was the first state who have recognized the GreenCo for the state companies. There is an incentive scheme running in the Rajasthan state government. So the company who get the GreenCo rating, they can get up to 50% consent fee waiver for a large manufacturing companies. Okay, and also additional extension for the consent period. Okay, similarly, Karnataka also have a incentive scheme. Goa Pollution Control Board also encouraged to go for the GreenCo. And in Tamil Nadu, the Department of Industry and Commerce, as part of the QCert scheme, so they are also getting one-time reimbursement up to 2 lakh rupees for the MSME company for the GreenCo certification. Recently, almost 15-20 companies in Tamil Nadu who already gone for the GreenCo rating primarily MSME company, they also got the reimbursement from the Tamil Nadu government. Okay, so our objective is one way it is a voluntary program. Company should pursue. They should get the direct benefit by implementing the project. Second thing is the regulator also should recognize them. There should be giving big motivator for them so that more and more companies can able to join for the GreenCo movement, sir. Okay. So finally, the benefits, whatever I discuss, if I talk in a nutshell, what are the key benefits about the GreenCo rating? First of all, with implementing the GreenCo rating, the company can able to reduce the energy and the water consumption because that is the major primary resource in any kind of operation. Okay, that is the first and foremost. So their company put a lot of efforts in terms of energy metering, monitoring, target setting, similarly water metering and the monitoring, and finally it also helped them to improve their environmental performance. Second thing is it also helped the company in terms of raw material conservation. Like as I mentioned, GreenCo, there is nothing called as a waste. Everything is a raw material. So GreenCo also helped the company to identify the different avenues where they can reduce the raw material consumption reduction, consumable consumption reduction, packaging material consumption reduction, and make their operation more viable. Okay. Third one is the how the company can look beyond the compliances. Because GreenCo framework has been developed in 2010-11. In that time only, we have been started talking about the carbon calculation, then water neutrality, then energy reduction. Okay, those things were still not there at that in the picture. Okay, because government has not come out with those guidelines. But already we discussed which is beyond compliances. So the company, if they follow GreenCo guideline in a holistic way, they can look furthermore what is coming to the future. So they don't have to worry about the current compliance status. Okay, so it is always help the company to look beyond compliance status. The fourth thing is there are ample example. I'll also show quickly example where the company following the GreenCo, they always get a very preferred supplier status from their OEMs. Like nowadays, like how the OEM customers or the European customer are very critical about the sustainability performance. So earlier it was basically quality and the safety. Now they're all looking about the sustainability performance. So if a company follow the GreenCo kind of guideline, so they are always meeting the regulatory compliances and going more beyond the regulatory compliances. Okay, so you'll always get a preferred customer status from the customer side, and indirectly it will also make your overall image as a green image. Okay. The sixth one is the export-oriented market. As I mentioned, once the company started following the green practices, they can explore the new avenues. They can explore the new you can say new areas for business. They can explore the new customers, and finally, it can also improve your business opportunities. And definitely, after all, it makes the business more profitable. Like by implementing all this initiative, ultimately, at the end of the day, you can save a lot of your monetary value, and finally, it makes the business more sense actually. Okay. So in a GreenCo rating, overall, it takes around 4 to 6 months time, sir, in a particular facilities, is starting with the training program or the launch program by the CI team at the plant level. So we basically form a core team at the plant with comprising of all different technical division team member, because it's not a one-person job, it is a teamwork, which is headed by a senior team member, preferably by the plant head level. Then after the training is over, we give them the time for implementation of the opportunities for the improvement. At the same time, we also handhold them to understand the you can say gap analysis out of the opportunities are there. Then we help them or understanding them about the data collection activities. So finally, the company have to prepare for the pre-assessment. It will be done by the CI team to understand the preparedness. And on the company clear the pre-assessment, then they have to go for the final certification. Okay, so it is done by CI experts assessor panel. So one or two people come there and they do the assessment. And after assessment is over, they get the GreenCo rating certification and also about the feedback report. Okay, this is the broadly overall timeline about the GreenCo implementation process. As I mentioned, it includes the senior person as a coordinator, and they should be form a team by different cross-functional member. And as we've seen that GreenCo should be always a top-down approach, because there are many things which need a top management commitment, resource allocation, review, etc. So unless the top management directly involved there, it is very difficult to pursue the GreenCo in a very systematic way. So regular involvement of top management is very, very required. Okay. So rating, once the company get the GreenCo rating, sir, it is valid for 3 years period. Okay, but every year there is a follow-up review or the follow-up assessment is done by the CI technical team member to understand that what are the performance we have seen last year, whether they have been able to maintain the same performance or there is some kind of deterioration or challenges are there. Okay. In case we found that there is a significant improvement also, so there is a possibility the company can upgrade the rating to the higher level. Okay. Otherwise, after the 3 years period, the company have to again apply for the recertification. So that is how the overall framework has been decided. Okay. So I'll quickly share some example, then I'll close my presentation. So in the GreenCo trends, like we have been working more than 1,000 plus companies, we have seen there are several best practices across the sector, okay, which also give us a lot of, you can say, confidence or the boost up to feel that, yes, really GreenCo can make a lot of business sense for the company. One and first and foremost thing, sir, we have seen that by implementing the GreenCo, company can significantly improve their overall internal management system, okay, because GreenCo framework is such a way that it is help the company for the target setting process, their training capacity building, they're increasing their management framework, their resource allocation, then also regular review of the people. So these are the all areas, you can say the foundation of the companies. So there GreenCo can make a big major impacts, and ultimately it also help the company have better monitoring system, review of the monitoring system, okay. So this is some example like how the company wants to start the GreenCo journey. They develop a clear roadmap and they display to their shop floor and also help the company people to understand the targets. And they create several kind of, you can say, informative material like case study booklet, pocket guidelines. Then also they develop the GreenCo scorecard for the employees to review their performance as per the KPI. Okay, and also they develop a very specific scorecard system for the machine-wise scorecard to understand how much of the process improvement is required for particular machines. Okay, like this is the example, like left-hand side, you can see this is the Breaks India example. We have seen that in the GreenCo journey, what they have done into the shift-wise operator, they have created, you can say, energy scorecard on the individual operator level. Okay, so they have listed on all the different kind of source of energy, and they have also mentioned what is the target energy consumption and every shift wise what is the operator performance. Okay, so by putting this kind of a simple number within 6-month period, they have found that there is a significant reduction in the energy consumption, because the efficient operator always want to achieve to the higher side of the target. Okay, but it's a non-efficient operator may not be able to do so. So by seeing this number, they can able to understand who is efficient, who is not efficient. So that way they can able to make some kind of a, you can say, capacity building about the operator, and that also help them a lot in terms of the energy saving. So by seeing the Breaks India as a large foundry division, there are other MSME companies like Atharva Polymer, there is another engineering industry. So they have also developed a similar kind of scorecard, and they link their, this is as part of the KPI of the employee, and also some kind of a small remuneration or recognition also they have kept for the operator level at the shop floor. Okay. Similarly, as I mentioned, supply chain decarbonizing is another major focus area. All the OEMs now looking for greening their supply chain. Okay, they want to make their supply chain carbon free. Okay, so in that aspect, Volvo is one of the you can say leading manufacturing company. So they have a vision like how to make their supply chain as a fossil fuel free supply chain. Okay, so Breaks India already had GreenCo rating since 2012-13, and later they have also make their product the casting as a green product certified. So they have considered as a preferred supplier under the Volvo, their you can say the green fossil fuel free supply chain categories, because they have shown that more than 8,500 tons of CO2 reduction are possible by implementing both GreenCo and GreenPro. Then later, Madras Engineering Limited and the Madras also started following the similar practice, and they have also considered under the Breaks their Volvo supply chain category set. And this also help a huge impact to their GHG scope 3 emission. Okay, then another supplier of another foundry is called the Gatke Patil. It's in Kolhapur, Maharashtra region. So 3 of their location has already gone for the GreenCo. One is a gold rated also. So under this GreenCo journey, they have done extensive work about the carbon reduction, calculation about the carbon GHG emission. They also identified what are the scope areas are there, what the improvements are possible. Accordingly, they have invested renewable energy projects, forestation. Okay. Then also changing the process operations. Okay, that is another area they have been extensively work for it. Okay, then Rialto is again it's not a foundry. It is it's a contract supplier of P&G, Procter and Gamble. They're basically FMCG companies. So they have also have a very good commitment about the carbon neutrality, net zero, water neutrality certification. They already GreenCo Platinum rated. They are now planning for GreenCo Platinum Plus certification. So what they have done into the GreenCo implementation process, they have developed detailed scorecard into the shop floor. Okay, So they have decided on all the energy, all the environmental parameter, their targets, and also who are the responsible person, what is their action plan, okay, and month-wise action also. So with this kind of, you can say, dynamic scoreboard, they have been clearly able to see the progress of their every parameter like energy, water, carbon, material, etc. And also know how much each and every individual team is progressing. So with that level, they are able to completely make their operation more dynamic. And second thing is they also find out after implementing the GreenCo rating, there is a complete transformational changes happen into the employee behavior. Okay, because the people are becoming more focused. Their way of looking to the work area has been changed, because earlier people are more focusing only to the production operation. Okay, but by implementing on the, you can say, incorporating GreenCo into their operation, they start talking more about energy conservation activity, water conservation activity, supply chain activity. People have different avenues to look into, and they can different areas to work into, and that make their operation more and more dynamic, and their overall, you can say, employee attrition rate also significantly has come down, sir. Okay. Then Godrej and Boyce, of course, Godrej and Boyce, everyone know they are very one of the most renowned or you can respected organization, sustainability domain. So Mr. Jamshed Godrej has a clear vision by 2030, 80% of their buy value should be coming from green rated suppliers and vendors. Okay. So they have already given the direction to their vendors and suppliers that by 2030, you have to definitely start following some green practices. So for that, they have developed a detailed roadmap in different kind of activity. So one of the supplier that is called the Sri Ashwinayak Glass. So they are also one of the early mover in GreenCo journey, and they are a very small facility in the near to Pune. It is in Ranjangaon actually. Okay. So in the GreenCo journey, they have taken a lot of efforts, sir, in terms of energy reduction, then ETP, water treatment, then waste management, packaging material reduction. And being a small MSME itself, they have been able to achieve more than 80 to 85 lakhs of annual recurring saving. Okay. And nowadays their turnover also increased significantly. And by implementing green initiative, they have also able to you can outperform one of the Turkey supplier, one of the Chinese supplier while they are exporting to the other countries, okay, European countries, okay, because the European customer is looking for a supplier who has provided the green services, although they are the L2 or L3, but because they have a green performance, so they have been outperformed to the Chinese and Turkish supplier in terms of their performance. Okay, this also show how GreenCo can also make their business and operation more profitable. Okay. So another example like milk oil model, I think all of us know that earlier Amber is one of the Godrej customers. So earlier they are following the different transport vehicle to supply the product to their all customers, but now they have followed the milk run model. Once dedicated only transporter start following the certain defined route, and it supplied the product and component to all customers. So with that, they have significantly reduced the carbon footprinting, and also cost reduction also happened. Okay. So finally, before I close, I also want to share, like, apart from the GreenCo certification, you also have the certification like the net zero water, carbon, and the waste management. So there we basically understand the performance of the company in the carbon aspect, then water aspect, and the waste to landfill aspect. These are the areas many companies have been started following the guidelines, and they are implementing the certification services. So I think before we join, I discussed with Abhishekta ma'am, our annual conference GreenCo Summit is happening next week in Hyderabad, 12th and 13th of June, HSCC. So I request people to please, you can nominate the people from your organizations, they can join to this conference. It's a very wonderful, will be for all of you to learn the different best practices. See, there are more than 60, 70 international national speakers are there, 1,000 people are there. You can able to learn, meet them, have good networking, and also visit several, some 30 to 40 stalls are there. You can also have a good opportunity for you to meet and greet to each other, sir. So that is a short presentation from my side. So before I sum up, I just want to conclude that today green is not a choice, sir. So it has to be there, because if you don't follow the green, it will be difficult for any business to be into the light. Okay, because otherwise other people will come and take over you. So you please follow, starting following the green practices, and GreenCo is one of the excellent tool to all of you. And for any kind of supports are required, our CI team is always there to support and guide to all of you, sir. So thank you once again. My coordinates, my colleague Madan's coordinate also here into the screen. We are always available to help you, sir. So thank you. Any question you can take here.
Thank you, Mr. Sen Gupta, for such an insightful presentation. You can keep the screen for a couple of minutes so that
Sure.
our participants can note the contact details. Definitely,
Sure.
at this juncture, the world is at great threat of climate change demanding immediate attention, and the
Yeah.
green manufacturing is is a crucial step towards a sustainable future.
Yeah.
And green manufacturing is not just a buzzword, it's a business imperative nowadays. The foundry industry, being the highly energy intensive sector, needs to be dedicated towards reducing our environmental footprint while driving
Yeah.
innovation and growth. So thank you, sir, for guiding us this way. And now we open the forum for questions. If you have participants may kindly ask if you have any inputs, suggestions, or any questions, queries, you may kindly ask here. Kindly
Yes,
unmute and ask, please.
sir. Myself, Dr. Anumiha Mishra from Just Engineering Limited, Indore.
Hello,
Okay,
madam.
sir.
Sir, I
Please
have
ask your question.
one question that which kind of support the government is providing? Like when we are going from green go environment, then we have to upgrade up our technologies. So, which
Mhm.
kind of technology upgradation support is providing by the government? Is there is any support or any financial assistance provided by the government, or it's a
Okay.
uh,
I got your
owned by
question,
the
ma'am.
company?
Yeah. See, actually, as I mentioned, for example, the state like Rajasthan or Tamil Nadu, okay, there is some incentive schemes are already available, ma'am. Like, for example, Tamil Nadu, there is an incentive scheme for the MSME companies, up to 2 lakh rupees. What are the expenditure is going to incur by the company for the GreenCo certification? That Department of Industry and the Commerce, they will reimburse. Okay. Similarly, for the Rajasthan government, also have incentive scheme based upon the rating level. There is a consent extension period revision or the consent fee waiver, reduction in consent fee. Those things are already there. So we are also started working upon other state and other state pollution control board, ma'am, so that other states also maybe sooner or later they will also start coming up with some kind of support for the industries. But coming to the actual like financials, ma'am, like actually GreenCo is basically voluntary programs. Okay, so it is not mandated by the government, but company pursue the GreenCo rating for their own benefits and the improvement. Okay, so by implementing the GreenCo, the actual benefits will be incurred or it will be, you can say, realized by yourself directly, by in terms of the energy savings or the water savings or the material savings, and ultimately it will sell within the cost saving also. Okay. Second thing is, if you need any kind of technological support, like what kind of technology you want to pursue or what kind of these things are there. So into the GreenCo process, a CI team also provide a lot of handholding support. Like we can able to connect you. Suppose you want to some details about the energy monitoring system. Who are the energy monitoring suppliers in the market? So we can support you in terms of providing maybe some 10 to 15 different suppliers. You can discuss with them. Same thing with the water conservation, waste management also. Second thing is, if you want to visit some of the green rated company to understand what kind of improvement or the benefits are possible by implementing GreenCo, that also we can able to arrange maybe because now every state having some GreenCo company. Indore, Bhopal, we have many GreenCo companies are there in the MP region. So we can also able to provide some kind of, you can say, educational visits to some of your team member to go and see and meet the industry to understand what kind of benefits are possible. Those things are there as of now. But of course, definitely going forward, we expect that more and more supports will be coming from the government side in terms of recognizing or in terms of some kind of a financial instrument also, sir. Also, ma'am. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Next question, please. You may also write your question on the chat box.
Okay, I just stop the screen and again to see.
Sir, I'm Prem Kumar from Nelcast.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
Sir, can you come and do the audit for us, sir? We are also doing some green thing. Can you audit us, sir? We want to know on what status we are now.
Okay. Actually, sir, we don't use the word audit here. We basically call it a feasibility study. Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Like you are based in where? Nellore, sir?
No. One factory is in Nellore, Gudur,
Okay.
and one factory in Ponneri, Tamil Nadu.
Tamil Nadu. Okay. What we can do, maybe you can drop me as an email. Maybe we can see, sir, like our team used to visit those locations. Initially, we
Okay.
can send you some preliminary questionnaire to understand about your process and the operation. And second thing is, if possible, we can maybe spend half a day to just go and visit and understand what kind of practice currently you're following. So that kind of preliminary visits we can explore, sir, if it is.
Okay.
Of course, our team also visits regularly different part of the Tamil Nadu and this thing every year.
Okay. Thank
Yeah.
you, sir.
Yes.
Sir, good evening. Myself, Shiva Prabhu from Akosap Engineering, Coimbatore, sir.
Yes, sir.
One of the customer would like suggest to go for GreenCo certification. Another European customer suggests to go for eco bodies. So in this
Okay.
case, how can we manage this?
Okay. See, actually,
So
of
this
course.
GreenCo is acceptable for all Europeans, or no? How we can?
See, actually, EcoVadis, of course, EcoVadis, because it is a global requirements, all European customers look for it. Okay, so I cannot comment on EcoVadis, but EcoVadis is basically it's more like a, we can say, certification, sir. Okay, it is just basically a checklist to understand whether you are following it or not. Okay, so but GreenCo is the actual process improvement activity. So if you do the GreenCo rating. And later, if you join for the EcoVadis, automatically you get a better score for the EcoVadis. Okay, but EcoVadis will not say what has to be done. They will show you a guideline and they will check whether you are there or not. Okay, they will have to upload the documentation accordingly. Okay, but GreenCo is more like it's a project. It is a process improvement operation and tool which will help you to improve the process and operation. So I'll always suggest that if you follow the GreenCo, it will be more beneficial for you in a longer period. Sir.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Yeah.
Mr. Sengupta, there is a question in the chat box. They want
Okay.
Mr. Pritesh Jha wants to know the concept of green casting manufacturing. If you can briefly explain it, sir.
Okay. Green casting manufacturing. Okay, maybe I can share in offline some of the material which is available with us. So, see, in a nutshell, what we talk about, sir, like even nowadays, the government of India also having talking about the green steel directorate is already came to the picture. Okay, so when I talk about the green in the manufacturing, it's considered 3-4 aspects. One is about energy efficiency, how much of energy I'm consuming, how much I can reduction energy is possible. Second thing is the casting operation, the scrap. What is the extent of the scrap I am using for the casting. Third thing is about the your renewable energy addition. How much of the renewable energy addition is there? And fourth, of course, the process or the route which suppose blast furnace route or the BOF route, okay, or the electric arc furnace, which route you are following. And subsequently, the green hydrogen is also included there. So these are all broadly the aspects which typically consider finally when the casting is talking about a green casting, sir. But definitely, there are literatures are available. I can share with you what are the routes follow for going for the green casting. Actually, okay.
We can take a last question. It's in the chat box. Mr. Abhay wants to know their manufacturing process is outsourced. So
Okay.
how do they can proceed?
Outsource means it is not done by you, sir. Some vendors and suppliers.
Mr. Abhay, you can you unmute and explain it, please.
I think it's unable to unmute maybe.
There is one more question. What is the success possibility understanding the difficulties in process and work pressure?
Abhay is asking the question.
Abhay is asking, yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, Abhay, yes.
Yeah, so coming to the point that many manufacturing processes are outsourced to say foundries, certain forging shop, certain plastic molding pultrusion shops. So how do we sort of having a lot of interest to pursue this? How do we proceed on this?
So you are talking about this all your foundry, casting, and other machining. These are all suppliers. Your suppliers have been doing, right?
You're right.
Vendor supplier. Sir, what we can do is, what is basically you are doing the assembly work, the final assembly work?
We do certain assembly works, but it doesn't really have great impact of the points we discussed.
Correct. I think in that case, it is better, sir. You can ask.
We are an MSME, incidentally.
Understood. Even I think one of your vendors and supplier also, they are also MSME categories, right? The foundries.
Some of them, and some of them are in the mid scales.
Okay. there are two ways, sir. Okay, of course, you can follow the GreenCo Light guideline for your operation. That is one aspect. You can make your operation greener, like what are the existing operations are there. But still, you may not be able to get the full benefit. Then you have to looking more to your casting operation or the foundry or the forging operation. Okay, so there you can ask your vendors and suppliers to start also adopting the green practices. You can. There also one challenge, if the MSA, they are your vendors or the foundries as MSME category, you can able to influence them. You can ask them to go for it. If it is a large foundry, then it will be tricky actually. But still, you can approach them. You tell that already our company has a commitment to go for the GreenCo rating, but this is one of the best possible tools, and CI already has been you can say advising us to go for the GreenCo. It is our recommendation. You can please follow the GreenCo guideline. And you can connect with us. I think it is not a problem. They should also can go for it, sir. Okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
Thank you. I would separately connect in detail with you. Thank you.
Yes, no problem, sir. Thank you.
Sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
Can we get a quick answer to the last question? It is from Sonar Casting Limited.
Yeah.
And what is the success possibility, understanding the difficulties in process and work pressure?
Work pressure, of course, I cannot comment. But success in the sense, see, actually GreenCo is more like a project, sir. One more thing, one more point I just forgot to mention. In the GreenCo process, we don't never expect any new documentation to be started, or like ISO, etc. You have to prepare some 10 different file, 20 different procedure. ऐसा कुछ नहीं करना है. What are the existing system and processes there? We follow the same thing. But wherever the value addition is there, we ask them to adopt a new process and operation. Okay. Considering that there is no success or failure in the GreenCo, it is nothing like audit. It is basically a evaluation tool. So GreenCo follows a set of guidelines, and the guideline where you are currently standing, we evaluate there and how much you can improve further. Okay. So definitely, suppose today you are registering for the GreenCo, maybe first time you get a bronze rating. Okay, maybe the minimum rating. But after the rating is over, we give you a set of recommendations. These are things you please follow and adopt and implement. The next cycle you can come, you can follow, and you can go for a next star rating, silver rating, or gold rating. That is how the companies, again, repeat orders are coming after 1 year, 2 year period, because company get the benefit, they want to go for a next level, the next level. That's how the cycle continues, sir. So it is a continuous journey. It is not a one-time on-off switch kind of thing, sir. Okay, so you have to follow it like that only. Here representing sonar casting. Yeah. Thank you, sir. Yeah.
Sir, Basant, is my.
Yes, sir.
I got one or two clarification, not the question.
Yeah.
You said about like ISO, it's an international standard organization.
Yeah.
But GreenCo is an initiation of CI, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So what is the acceptance level for these type of your certificates with the customers? Because ISO, at least different certification bodies, customers, at least if you ask Europe, it is what do you call organization certification bodies are recognized. Similarly, placed.
Yes, sir. Actually, like as I mentioned, GreenCo is a voluntary guideline which is developed by CI as a national industrial body. Okay, so it is well accepted across our member companies, because most of our member company already accepting the GreenCo. And recently, we are also in talk with one of our major customer. They want to pursue GreenCo for the Indonesian and other country plants also. Okay, so people are looking more like an improvement tool rather than any kind of it's more like an improvement tool, and that is how it should be accepted. Of course, there was a discussion in between whether we should get registered with the QCI or any other ISO standard. But later, the GreenCo Council suggested we are not looking like a pure certification. We're looking more like an improvement, or you can say recognition. Okay. So that aspect, still our GreenCo Council has not recommended to get some kind of accreditation from ISO or other international body. So far we are maintaining this this approach, sir. And our industry members is well accepted by all of them, sir.
Why I asked, we have got 3-4 multinational customers. One customer has rated us platinum. Other customer is not ready to accept it. So once again, we have to pass through the pains of this type of evaluation, whatever you call. So that's the question. So how to convince anyway, that is our own. And you also touched upon the certification like certified bronze, silver, gold.
Level of certification.
3 years once. So it means to achieve platinum, it will be minimum 15 years.
No, sir, nothing like that. See, there are examples like suppose a company even before going for the GreenCo rating, they can also get the guideline. GreenCo guideline is available even on GreenCo online platform also. They can self-evaluate what level currently there. They can also prepare by themselves. So there are examples like the first attempt, many company already has got gold rating. First attempt platinum rating is very rare. At a second attempt, the company can able to get set. So even a sizable company who have a decent system in manufacturing, they have a good energy conservation practices, water conservation practices, waste management. So up to silver level, they can able to get. But of course, if they want to get gold or platinum, they have to really work hard. That is also there, sir. Because it is neither tough nor easy kind of concept. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Now is what we do. Product leadership, you touched upon that. You also evaluate on that. How is it in being? How do you quantify it?
Sorry, which one, sir? I missed the question.
Product stewardship.
Product stewardship. Actually, the product stewardship, sir, basically the product what the company is manufacturing finally. So you want to understand how much the product responsibility is there from the manufacturing aspect. Okay. Of course, when the product is getting manufactured, it is go to multiple channels like the product producer, then transporter, then user, disposal like that. Okay. But still the producer become the primary responsible. So as a producer, I should understand what are the impact is possible into the entire life cycle of the product. Accordingly, the company can do a life cycle study and understand what are the major impacts are there. Accordingly, they can reduce that. For that, like extended producer responsible, like after the product is getting sold, what is the post-service delivery I am giving? What kind of education and program I am doing for the customer? And after the product reaching the end of life, how is my management system? Okay. During the manufacturing phase, what are the steps I have been taken to reduce the toxic substances, hazardous substances? So these are all requirements. We have a detailed guideline also available, sir. Again, product stewardship is a very broad subject. It is based upon the sector and the product, it changes. Suppose the electronic component products responsibility will not be similar like a casting companies or maybe a cement company or the automobile company. Everyone's having a different approach to address the product stewardship responsibility, sir. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And we now come to the end of the this very knowledgeable webinar, especially for the foundry industry. I would now request Dr. Abhishekta Roy Chaudhary, Executive Director IIF, to propose the word of thanks. Over to you, madam.
Thank you, Vasanji. Good evening, everyone. As we conclude this insightful session on the GreenCo rating systems, it is my privilege to extend a heartfelt vote of thanks on behalf of the Institute of Indian Foundrymen and our Foundry Informatics Centre, our Centre of Excellence. First and foremost, I would like to express our sincere gratitude to Mr. Sabyasachi Sengupta, Principal Councillor, CI Godrej Green Business Council, our esteemed speaker, for his informative and engaging presentation. Your valuable insights into resource conservation and sustainable business practices have certainly broadened our understanding of how green can indeed be profitable in terms of cost saving and getting more business. A special thanks to Mr. D.S. Chandrasekhar, our immediate past president, for his inspiring address and continued support to such impactful initiatives. I also thank our moderator, Mr. Vasant Kumar, for seamlessly conducting today's session and for introducing our distinguished speaker with such clarity. To all the attendees, thank you for your time, enthusiasm, and active participation. Your presence made this webinar truly meaningful. Let us take forward these ideas shared today and strive towards building a greener and more sustainable future. Thank you and have a wonderful evening ahead.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Abhishekta, and thank you, everyone.